Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of On the Lawn. It's your boy, Kris Avalon. You're back again with a brand new episode where we're going to be just kikiing and being a mess. Yes, I'm not here alone, although I can do a show by myself, but I had to bring my sisters back into the fold. You know, my soon-to-be co-host of another show that I told y'all that we're going to be doing down the road pretty soon. But so without further ado, I want to bring in my two sisters from another mister. The one and only Lindsay Aguilera is back to join for another brand new episode, and my boy Remy. So bring him on in. How y'all doing? Ew. Wait, let me sip this drink.
Honey Boo Boo's back.
Yes, she is. She's giving us space and just giving us hair. Full on Teresa Giudice realness.
Yeah.
With the curls. At least we can see your forehead, though. Like, your hairline isn't as crazy as hers.
But it's a good size. It's a good size.
Yes, it is. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Just sipping the drinks. You know, got to get started. Getting ready for all this tea.
Oh, so we got
fabulous.
Oh, I don't see you. Oh, there she is. So, with her balloons and her confetti in the background. So yeah, we got a lot that we got to get to today. We're going to be talking about Drag Race. We're going to be talking about Soju and those allegations, you know, algorithms and all. So I'm not going to say what the allegations is. We'll talk about it throughout the show, as well as we have some stuff on. Oh, there's some breaking news about Kimye and her baby's father. Aren't they married? Well, according to the latest reports, they'll soon be divorced. So we're going to talk about that. That's one that just popped up a couple of hours ago. So we're going to bring that in. And, I also have, if I can see a little game that I want to play at the end of the show. They don't know about the game. This is a surprise because I want to get initial reactions. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's get to the first topic, which is Drag Race. So, of course, Drag Race came on last night. It was an episode, the first, after 4 episodes, we finally got some people, well, one person eliminated. And I'm just so glad to say that the person I said that was going home first, the bitch went home first. So I want to get everybody's thoughts on what they thought about last night's episode. Did the right person go home? Did you agree with the bottom 2? And yeah, so I'll say for me, I like the episode. The RuPaul Mart channel? I was at the RuPaul Mart. I find it clever how they always try to find a way to put a pun with that man's name. His laugh always gets me. That shit cracks me up. And I did like the performance. I do agree that oh my god, what's the ice skater's name? I don't know how her name just escaped me.
Denali.
Thank you. I was about to call her Davina. I don't know. But Denali, I was kind of looking at her like, should she have been in the bottom 2? But then I see where they were going. They were thinking a girl who took on way too many lines, was overwhelmed and couldn't get her lines together, versus someone like Kimye who had very little lines and couldn't even say the line after like 30, 40 damn times they asked her to recite the line. She kept doing it at the same fucking tone. So I get they were doing that. And then, of course, the other girl didn't get, who I thought was going to be in the bottom 2. The black girl. What's her name? Like, I'm forgetting names all of a sudden. I need to start writing shit down.
You know what it is? Because you have everything spawning out like this in your brain.
Yeah, it's like my brain's going a mile a minute. Wait, say the name again?
It's Lala Ree.
How does he know exactly? Yeah, Lala Ree. I thought that, okay, maybe they'll put her in the bottom, but she wasn't as bad. So, Remy, I'll go to you first. What did you think of last night's episode, and did you agree with the elimination?
I thought the episode in itself was entertaining. Simone killed it, as always. As far as the bottom goes, I feel like I don't agree. I do feel like it should have been Lala Ree and Kimye Hall, but I am glad that it was Denali because the way she killed that lip sync, I had to watch it like 3 times over. It was so good.
Yeah, I agree. I actually watched the episode, not that episode, but I literally kept rewinding the Crystal Waters 100% Pure Love. I kept rewinding that performance numerous times. I'm like, wait a minute now. Now she's doing moves based on the beat, and then she kept like doing the duck walk, and I was like, okay, now this bitch is up in here voguing. So I was just living for it. She was giving full on performance, and to me, it felt like Kimye gave up the minute before RuPaul even got, the time has come for you to lip sync for your life out of his mouth. So she gave up.
It was very it was very much like, do something, Charlie. It was giving very much that. She was just like standing there.
And then on top of that, I don't know if y'all noticed, but her mouth wasn't going with the words. So this thing wasn't really, I don't feel like she took the time to put them earpieces in and remember the lines of the song that Crystal Waters, that Crystal Waters song, because that is like one of my favorite house tracks from back in the day, and it still holds up. Lindsay, any thoughts?
No, I mean, listen, I think at this point, anybody who's going home, they're going home and they had their fair shot. What I've been saying for a long time, and they did it this season, is they gave us a few episodes of us getting to know the queens. So, I mean, they do what they can do. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I also feel like Denali has solidified herself as like one of the strongest lip sync assassins on the show. I think everybody's going to be scared to go up against her from now on because she's pretty much proven herself. I'm sure she's a little shook it. And I'm also thinking Tamisha might be the one to gather these girls on future episodes because she gathered two of them. Like yesterday, she gathered Elliot with two T's, and next week look like she about to gather Miss Candy.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that episode. It was a cute episode. I didn't really care for the challenge. I do have a question though. Do you feel like at this point there's a bit of Drag Race fatigue, especially with so many shows coming on? Like we have season 13 simultaneously going up against Drag Race UK, which I'm also watching because I have Wow Presents Plus, and then they're currently filming Drag Race Down Under in New Zealand, where they have New Zealand girls going up against Australian girls because they can't shoot in Australia due to COVID guidelines. We also got Canada coming out later this year. They're about to do one in Spain. We also have seasons of already existing shows. So do you think there's a bit of fatigue, and do you think it's time for them to shake up the concept of this show? Because I feel like these challenges, after a while, have gotten so dry, so boring. It's so predictable and expected with the acting challenges and the snatch. I mean, the snatch game is a part of it. It's, tradition to do one every season. But I do feel like, in my opinion, they need to start shaking up these challenges. Like, really, the sky's supposed to be the limit with drag queens. They're supposed to be, extremely creative, color outside the coloring book, or, use every crayon inside the coloring book. I mean, the crayon box, as Rue likes to say, but I don't feel like they're bringing that with the show. So you don't feel like it's time for them to shake up the show?
No. No, not at all. No. I love it. It's hard to find a show that has a concept and challenges. I don't think they should change it at all. I think that makes it very fair. Especially think about it this way: from what we know, when the queens audition, they don't know when they're gonna get the call, and they don't know what to wear, what to pack, what to whatever until the day of, right? From what I understand, they give you the call like, hey, you can't say nothing, and you're flying in 3 days. So you have 3 days to know what you're gonna put in your suitcase. So I feel that no, not at all. Keep it the standard way, so that way future queens can prepare themselves. Now, what I will say is, I think why we get so tired is because we just accept whatever is given to us. Well, RuPaul just accepts whatever is given to her because she can only take but 12 queens per season. So she has to pick the best out of the group. And what happens is not all of them really outshine or perform. You know what I mean? I think everyone is getting so used to, well, for example, I'll like a Derek Barry was like, okay, my safe bet will be a Britney Spears. Let me just put on this costume. Or that season where they all wore like the Madonna kimonos. Everyone wore a kimono.
Oh yeah, that drove me nuts.
Because that was their safest route. You know what I mean? I feel like what they need to do is RuPaul needs to punish all of them. Remember a couple of seasons? Was it Trixie's season where they all sucked and RuPaul basically was like, you're all gonna be eliminated. Like you all have to lip sync. Like everyone was in the bottom. And then when someone got sent home, RuPaul would like step it up, and he was like really pissed off about it.
That was in the season with Honey Davenport where they had all 6 of them lip sync. Oh my god, I hated that episode.
I don't know. No. It was like at the very beginning. It was like episode 3. I feel like there was still a good like 10 queens, and you could tell that Ru, she was really upset Because when Rue was like, let this be an example, step your game up. And like by the next episode, these bitches were scared. They were doing what they needed to do. I forgot what season it was. But what
it was the Trixie season.
Yeah, it was.
It was the Shakespeare
that's
one.
what needs to happen. I think what needs to happen is, listen, at the end of the day, you won't be able to send all the queens home. But listen, if they're all doing just the generic or the basic, like they think in their head they're doing the very best just to slide, then yeah, put them all on the bottom and scare them up so that the following challenge they do better. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well, I'm not talking about like how they perform the challenge. I'm talking about like the people who come up with the concepts behind the scenes need to step it up in regard. Maybe I didn't make myself clear in what I was referring to, but I feel like the people who work behind the scenes on the show really need to step it up in regards of the challenges that should go with the people participating. And I also believe that with the queens, I believe when they get chosen, they're given an itinerary of what outfits to bring, but they're not told exactly like what challenges and stuff, but they give them an idea of what it is that they have to bring so they can do that. I kind of wish that they would push the concept of more of the, I don't know if we talked about this before or if I talked to someone else about it, but I also feel like what they need to do is bring in something in regards of more that the Project Runway aspect, which is these bitches need to learn how to sew, or at least if you don't know how to sew, get by on some sewing and have them, sponsor, have a fabric company sponsor you guys, because the World of Wonder, the much shit they're doing, they got enough money where they can afford, some tailors or some other shit, and then have them learn how to put an outfit together. And if it falls apart, then that's the beauty of the show. So it makes it interesting for the judges to have something to critique and possibly eliminate. So I kind of want more. I want to see more creativity coming from the queens instead of just, okay, I'm going to pay the same 3 designers to make all the outfits, because to me, they all starting to look alike after a while. But I enjoyed the show. I just want, a little, I think they need to shake it up a bit. I mean, we see a little bit of it happening with the other shows overseas, but we don't necessarily, I don't think they're pushing it as far as they can go, or then maybe it's just too much of a big global thing that they just want to not color outside the lines and they want to play it safe. So maybe it's that. So I guess we can move on.
On that note.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Because it was like, okay, dead silence. I guess we're moving on.
It was. You know what? Cause I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I'm just putting it in. I'm like, you know what it could be too? It could be that Rue and the whole production team just wants to give each country or continent that still same field, maybe. So even though we're tired of it, but like Australia is not, because they're going to be getting their own show, and half of them probably never really seen RuPaul's.
Yeah, they're filming it now.
Clips on YouTube, so they're going to be getting the same thing we've experienced. That could be it, instead of giving a little bit of a remix.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they get. It would be like a mistake if they don't get. Oh my God, I forgot her name too. The Australian drag queen that was on the season with Adore.
Oh,
Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney. Yeah, it would be nice for them to get Courtney on as a judge, like I guess celebrity judge. But I did hear, and I can't reveal on the line. Who from the current season of All Stars is about to appear on Drag Race Australia. So I have to tell y'all that when we get off, because we could get in trouble for that. So I'm not gonna say it on here.
Okay.
But anyway,
for you guys, but we'll know later. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't say it on here because I was promised. It was like, please don't tell her. I said I won't. But it's a queen we all know, obviously. But she's a big queen. So on the latest episode of Drag Race UK, I should also say a huge congrats to Bimini Bambulash, who just came out as non-binary. And I did not see last night's episode, but I did find out who went home, but I'm gonna still watch it. I do like the season, by the way. I like, seeing how different drag queens from different countries put stuff together. But they talked a bit about the overall look that they were trying to put together So apparently they had well, they did something called Rats the Rusical. Can I just say I'm just so over the Rusicals. I think the one they did last year was was the best one I've seen in a while. But overall, these musicals get so stupid. But anyway, so she said that this is not how I envisioned I would have looked. She says, as a non-binary bad bitch, I wanted to celebrate the beauty of trans and non-binary. So I believe that there was she was wearing a dress that when you pop the balloons that was on it, it was supposed to show the trans colors. But apparently the balloon started to sag and then the paint was sitting up in there and things didn't work according to plan. And I get it. It's like you have an idea on how something should work. And people don't realize that when you do these shows, there's a lot of hours that they're waiting to shoot. Mm-hmm. Just like I heard the deliberations go on for a long period of time. So we're only getting 45, well, depending on the show. We're getting 2 hours of Drag Race, but in other countries, they're doing literally an hour show. Mm-hmm. So, or 49 minutes, because with commercials, but we don't get commercials. If you have Wow Presents Plus, you just see the whole thing through. But yeah, so I just want to say congratulations to her on coming out as non-binary. And it's unfortunate that her outfit didn't work the way it was supposed to.
A future shows, whenever she does a live stream or go out in public, she has a chance to make it up as many times as she wants.
Well, yeah, because I heard that they're about to do the Work the World tour in a couple of months. And I did hear that Jada Essence Hall and a bunch of girls are going to be a part of that. So we'll see how that works out, because I'm there's not a lot of people doing live shows. But I guess once it gets warm, you could do stuff outside and they'll figure that out, because we can't be indoors. I would love to be indoors, going to parties and clubs and seeing drag queens perform. And I know in certain states they've allowed it, but
yeah,
here's something different.
But Trinity would know about those.
Oh. Oh, she's come alive. First read. So I know we were talking a little positive stuff, so now a little craziness has been going on. So apparently Soju has been accused of sexual assault. She was a competitor on season 11 of Drag Race. It's not the liquor that's talking. Drag Race. I sound like a 4-year-old trying to learn how to speak with a speech impediment. So apparently they said that she deleted her Twitter account and changed her Instagram. So I didn't even know that what was going on until one of my friends hit me up and was like, did you see these? Like, what's going on with the whole Soju situation? And all of a sudden was blowing up, and I was like, oh my God, I had to send it to you. And so it says that a user named Kev shared their experience with Tony Hyun-Soo Ha, known in drag as Soju, that date from 2016 and 2018 that include sexual assault, sparking others to also share their accounts. Out has not been able to verify any of the allegations, but in a statement sent to Out, Ha said that he had anticipated these claims and that they were part of an extortion attention. Now, some in the Drag Race community, like Shea Coulee, have reached out to the survivors with words of support, and according to Kev's account, they met her on Grindr at 17 years old in January 2016, and they recount a dynamic that included pushing someone beyond their stated boundaries, abuse, manipulation, and gaslighting. They also allege that in October of 2016, the pair engaged in intercourse while Kev was blackout drunk and could barely talk. According to this description, Kev would not have been able to give consent. And now I know a lot of people are saying that he says in one instance, according to Kevin, January 2018, when they were 19 and Ha was 26, the former Drag Race competitor physically forced her to perform oral sex. As Ha was driving, Kev could not go home until they complied with the demands, according to the assault. In the days to follow, Kev blocked Ha, and the two haven't spoken since. And then they were saying that he got triggered when he saw Soju on Drag Race. And then he said that he felt like he was hit in the face like a brick with all the memories and emotions he had bottled up. And I don't know if everybody remembers this, but season 11 came out in 2019. And I know a lot of people wonder, well, why didn't you come out and say something? Same similar situation to when Sherry Pie and all those allegations came out. People were so quick to come out and speak about what happened with Sherry Pie as her episode aired, her first episode aired, but nothing about Soju. So I know a lot of people are like, well, why now? When her episode came out literally 2 years ago, this month, And he was saying that I guess he felt that he was afraid to come out because Soju was popular in the Chicago drag scene. He felt like that he had a lot of people on Soju's side, and he would kind of be ostracized or blacklisted, I guess, if you want to go out to a bar or a club. I believe that the Chicago drag scene is very tight knit. So I guess maybe he felt that he would like some kind of backlash would happen. I don't know. So reading up on all of this and I'm trying to still make sense of it all because it's a relatively new. It just came out yesterday. What do you guys think of these allegations? Yet another drag race performer in a sexual assault situation. Whoever wants to go first?
I'm going to respond where it's just an allegation, so I'm going to leave it like that. Because here's the thing: if this is true, or some part of it may be true, some part of it may be overly dramatic, we have to respect someone's feelings and emotions and experience, right? Like if I'm telling you, hey, I'm uncomfortable doing whatever it is that we're doing right now, I would expect you guys to understand and respect me for it. But here's my thing: it goes back to, it's just first grade stuff where it's like something happens, you have to say it and you have to tell. And I'm sorry, I'm nervous because Soju is so popular. I'm nervous because they run a tight knit in a group. Yeah, that's cute when you're 8 years old. You're an adult and you should be able to speak up. Doesn't matter how popular somebody is, if they did something to you, you should say something. You not saying nothing and waiting a month, 6 months, 6 years, 4 years, or however long it took you, it kind of feels like it can be a vendetta. You know what I mean? It's almost like
Yeah.
when two friends fall apart, we can be the best of friends. We stop being friends. All of a sudden, my friend's gonna spill the tea and my secrets and possibly tell other people what I may have said about them. And my thing is, well, why are you saying this now? Why didn't you say it before? And a lot of times, people don't catch on to that. The first thing they hear is, if Remy and I were to have a fallout, let's say, and then Remy goes and runs to you and tells you, oh, David has always been feeling this about you all along, you're going to be so upset with me, but you're not going to stop for 2 seconds and be like, well, if you're telling me this now, why didn't say anything before?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I
It lets
think
you
it
know
goes
it makes you wonder what their intentions are
right,
when
the
if somebody was to
intention.
do that to you. But I do agree with Raquel though, who says no, it's not easy to speak at any age. So yeah, that is true. That's why it takes a lot of people a long time to come out and speak out. Like I was talking about on my podcast earlier, Rasby and all the allegations that he's saying against Chris Stokes and how he was molested and how he was forcing members of B2K to be sword fighting. And I'm not talking about with an actual sword. I'm talking about the meat sword. And and there was a lot of allegations and stuff with that, and Jason Lee was trying to get the exclusive interview, and he's been hit with cease and desist, and lawyers are getting involved, and it's crazy. It's like people do have a right to come out and speak their truth. There's three sides to a story: his side, the other side, and the truth. And I hope that we get to the truth. And if I do wonder though that okay, so there have been situations where I have been intoxicated to the point where I can't consent in sexual situations. And maybe the person that I was with wasn't as intoxicated as I am. And if I can't consent to something, does that mean that I was sexually assaulted? I don't know. I kind of look at it for me. I'll speak for myself that, okay, it's kind of my fault. I put myself in that situation. Although the person that you're with should know better not to take advantage of you if they know that you are way beyond the influence that you say that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of wondering if there was based on me reading this, because you said it was in the car, and then there was other situation. If this was a one-time situation, or if this was something that happened multiple times. So I don't know. I feel like it's probably going to take time for everybody to get like down to the understanding the situation, breaking it on down, and not being so quick. Let's not cancel people or ruin their lives before we get to the root of what had happened. Because too many times allegations come out, people exaggerate, whatever the case. I'm not saying this is what this guy's doing, but yeah. So, Remy, you have any thoughts on this? Wait, go ahead. Yes.
I say this real quick, just because it just occurred with what Raquel said. It's not easy to speak at any age. You're 100% correct, but here's my thing. the ones who can't speak are distraught from day one. You know what I mean? Just like a little kid. If a little kid was molested, the kid starts acting real different. The kid is really weird and going through a lot of stuff where, you know, people get concerned. His response was, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to be banned from clubs and a popularity thing. That's what I'm trying to get at, where it's like, is this really affecting you because you can't go to a club? Or were you seeing a doctor? Were you speaking to people about this? You have people who can vouch for you saying, hey, since day one, can you, like, not, did you lose sleep? Did you lose your job? All we're getting is that these things happened. I feel uncomfortable and I want to make sure that I can still get into clubs and that other queens like me. It's almost like
Well, let me just say
the
that
James Charles incident.
he didn't necessarily say that though. He didn't say that that was the reason as to why he didn't want to say anything. That was what I was implying based off of what he was saying. But because I was wondering, I was like, okay, so you were saying that it was because, you know, he's popular in the Chicago scene and all these other things going on. So that had me wondering, oh, because he's a popular drag queen, what, I mean, that was the reason why you didn't say something, because he was on Drag Race riding high at the time. And quite as a skip, Soju didn't even last that long on their season. So when they eliminated the first one to go, weren't they the pork chop of that season?
Yeah.
So I don't get, like, okay, well, you were popular in the Chicago scene, but you literally were pork chopped in the first episode. So you could have said something then. So, I mean, I don't want to slut shame. I don't want to victim shame. I don't want to do that. But I just feel like just because someone is popular in a certain setting doesn't mean that you don't have a right to speak your truth. But again, look, everybody in their own time. He wants to say it now. I don't know why you want to say it now when nobody's really checking. I mean, maybe some of y'all are, but I haven't thought about Soju in the month of Sundays.
The only Soju I've been thinking about were my Soju shots. Apple flavor, green apple flavor at that.
I hate you. Remy, but anyway, so yeah, Remy didn't get to his comment.
You basically said it all. Don't know what the intentions are. It could have been said then, but then again, you can't really tell someone how they can process anything. So I get that. But it's quite convenient that you're bringing it up again now. Again, I like Lindsay said, I don't see how bringing it up now is going to be a benefit to you. Because, or is it like, especially now where like everything's closed, if it were a social setting, like a social thing, then it'd be like, okay, this is kind of like the worst time to choose that. Maybe when clubs were still open, yeah, that could be a concern. But again, you don't know what everyone's intentions are, and it's a weird situation. We just got to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's basically how I feel about the situations. I'm just waiting to see how it all plays out. This is just, the early stages of the allegations. We're just commenting based off of what we're getting as it's coming in. But I'll keep abreast of this. I'm sure by the end of the week, we'll have way more details and more people will come out, and we'll see how the drag community, as well as, I don't know, if Soju does any future drag cons, how they're going to handle the situation and all that good stuff. So speaking of another Drag Race queen, because I think I did mention this to you. It's not part of the topics, but Detox has speaking out about Madonna and says that her album Ray of Light helped save her from suicidal feelings upon its release in 1998. Now, Magic's critically acclaimed seventh album, I can't believe that's the seventh album when Madam X was the 15th, goes to show how long it's been,
crazy.
Or how time flies. Wait, what was that?
I said, that's crazy.
I know that was album number 7, and that is one of my favorites. I said one of. I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, that's her best album." No, first of all, Madonna has had many best albums. Let's not just go with the Ray of Light because Ray of Light was the one that got her the Grammy. Like, we're not going to do that. But so Madonna's critically acclaimed 7th album contains hits like Frozen, Nothing Really Matters, which should have been bigger, and the title track of the same name. Now, Drag Race's Detox, who shot to fame on the 5th season of RuPaul's Drag Race, was just 12 when that album came out. I ain't gonna tell you how old I was, but we're gonna move on. Speaking of the things that made me queer, the new podcast from RuPaul's Drag Race UK's Crystal, the All-Stars runner-up, said, "When I talk about Ray of Light, I contributed to saving my life." She says, "It came out in 1998. I was 12, just moved from Arizona to North Carolina. It was the first time I had experienced people being really bigoted and racist and being ashamed for being a young closeted queer boy being called the F word, being ridiculed not only by students, but teachers and adults for being effeminate." At 12 years old, I was very depressed, very suicidal, not in a good headspace. When this album came out, I immersed myself in it. It was my saving grace. Now, Details has a music career of her own. Continued by saying, I had a little nook in my house we were renting with a little seat in the window, and I remember putting all my pillows in the window. I'm gonna cry and sitting there for hours with that album on repeat, thinking of a life beyond that. And it was an ethereal vacation from that difficult time. And so she basically said that album saved her life, and I do feel like because that album was more of a, it had a spiritual feel to it. That was Madonna coming out with the Kabbalah and being more spiritual because she had just had Lourdes, who just joined Instagram, by the way, and all that good stuff. So I don't know. Speaking of, I don't necessarily know if Remy is necessarily a big Madonna fan, but you can chime in. Is there a Madonna album that I won't say saved your life, but it's just something that you like was a moment where you felt like it made you come to terms with anything a part of your life? I'll tell you mine. I don't know if you have like one of y'all favorite albums of hers that you listen to on repeat that gives you the nostalgia, the future nostalgia.
I do, but none of her albums gave me that feel. Actually, a different artist with a different album, obviously, gave me that feel, that detail. Actually, believe it or not, as poppy and commercial as it is, Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. That was my album that was like, had a little bit of everything. But besides that, Hard Candy. Hard Candy is my favorite. I mean, I love me some Madonna. I can sing you every track ever made. But Hard Candy is my album that made me. I was very invested. That whole promotion of Hard Candy. That's me.
Okay.
I can tell you guys are not vibing to it because you guys are like.
I mean, to be fair, I've never heard a full Madonna album beginning to end that I could think of. I only know the singles. I only know what you tell me. I like, oh, you should listen to this. I pick and choose songs there, but I don't have like a full Madonna album that I can necessarily.
Well, maybe we'll open it up to, is there an artist in general, since Lindsay put it out there, an artist that basically gave you what Detox got from Ray of Light?
Not that deep, saving me from suicide and everything, but if there's an album from an artist that I have to say that I resonate with, that like when I heard it, it resonated with me, it changed things in me, it would be probably Thank You Next, because of the time that it came out with certain things that I was dealing with at the time. And it's just like track for track, it was something that it was very much like, this is being written for me in this time frame right now to help me cope with what I'm going through.
I agree.
All right.
For you. I agree.
Oh my God, now I was sitting there trying to think. Well, I think one of my favorite Madonna albums that I definitely love listening to is, Ray of Light is one of them. Confessions is another one. But I do love the Erotica album because it was a mixture of, being comfortable with your sexuality, and it was with the sex era and everybody hated it. And I remember I was a kid and I was just like, oh my God, I can't get the book because I'm not old enough. And listening to that album and kind of, hoping that your parents don't hear you listening to that record and the subject matter that was on it. And the fact that it wasn't just, like singing and stuff, it was spoken word and all the other stuff on it also. So it was sort of like this out of the box record way before its time, but she's had many of those way before its time records that people are really starting to acknowledge. Like we've had a conversation where we talked about American Life. People hated that album when it first came out, but now everybody is like doing theses on YouTube with it and listening to every album and dissecting everything and looking like, hello, that album pretty much resonates kind of with what we were dealing with this idiot that we just got out of office. So yeah, there's that. So moving right along, let's talk about Miss Wendy Williams, because she's been busy this week. So, the last time Lindsay and I were on the line, we talked a bit about did we touch on it briefly because it just happened that her brother her brother Tommy, Michael, who the hell's Michael? Well, Tommy was on his YouTube channel talking about how she didn't go to the funeral and she didn't do all this stuff. And she basically went on her show on Monday, and I know you sent it to me on Twitter, that she basically blasted her brother to about, oh, you don't want me spilling your tea, and how Tommy likes this dress. Hey, Sailor Mermaid. Oh, look who's at the
Hi,
board.
Sailor.
Good old friend Sailor Mermaid. They join us every week. It's a loyal fan. But anyway, so Wendy Williams basically was gaslighting and blasting her brother, basically insinuating, this shit pisses me off because this brings us back to something we've talked about before, that when we have these so-called allies that like to come into the situation, and then the first thing they want to do when a man comes for them, they want to talk about, call them gay or insinuate they're gay or fuck with their sexuality or whatever the case is. And she is notorious for doing that because apparently, according to Wendy, everybody's gay. Mm-hmm. So she also said that she refuses to meet the ex's love child and said the following. She says, the baby? No, why would I want to meet her? I don't know her. Oh, she's Mariah now. And she says, and I don't want to know her. She also suggested that Hunter was in their home when the child was born. And she says she'll want to meet me first, though. Do you know where your father was the night that your mother was giving birth? He was with that lady on TV, Miss Wendy, because he was with me. Now, for somebody who in their 50s, girl, like, really? This is what we doing in 2021? Like, you putting the man who cheated on you for 25 years of your relationship, you still taking him over everything else. Because apparently we talked about a word on the street. She didn't go to the funeral, but she was on the show saying that, oh, I was at the service. Girl, the service is not the same as a funeral or wake. You could have been at the wake and not shown up to the funeral. And we did say before that everybody grieves in their own way. Mm-hmm. And it's perfectly fine. If you want to go to the wake, but you can't go to the funeral, that's fine. I talked about it on my podcast earlier. Sometimes I've gone to a funeral, and to me, that means like that's the final nail in the coffin. I'm not going to see this person anymore. And you want to remember them as they were. When my grandmother was dying of cancer, I did not go to the hospital to see her because I did not want to remember her looking like something that was deteriorating from a disease. So there are certain things that people process things in their own way. And that's all she had to say when she was on the show, instead of feeding into the bullshit that her brother was saying. And word on the street was, where she said that she didn't even go to, that she was going home after the wake. And after the service, she couldn't go to the funeral, that she was still in Florida when she said she was going to New York. And then she went out to eat with the ex-husband and her son and this, that, and the other. Oh, and I also heard that allegedly Wendy is suffering from early stages of dementia due to alcohol abuse. Ooh. So that story came out too. I'm trying to remember where I heard that from. Oh, it might have been from Chronicle Speaks, which was talking about it, because I was like, I don't think Cheryl's World brought that up. Or maybe she did bring it up. But somebody I heard say it. But I heard from some very reliable people that she's going through some early stages of dementia. And I believe it, because she be getting her stories wrong a lot. And they ain't got shit to do with old age. So this was a messy week, but although entertaining. So what do y'all think? I'll let Remy go first.
I feel like the whole her bringing her brother's business and her brother's business onto the show and putting him on blast just for him to respond on social media, I feel like it's just a big clout grab. Like, your mother just died. Like you said, everyone handles grief differently. I don't think the way that they're handling this situation is the right way to handle it. Like, this is a private matter. And I feel like it's just to get people talking, especially since Wendy Williams' biopic is about to come out in like 2.5 days. So I think it's just like a whole like wind up to get hype. Like, oh, well, when her stuff comes out, let me watch that. Because quiet as it's kept, I stopped watching Wendy like a while ago, but it's just because it was around the time that she was taking all the breaks and stuff, and it just got kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't looking forward to it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, because you want to know something? I actually stopped watching around the time that you stopped watching, but I officially stopped watching when she made the comment about men wearing dresses. Stop wearing our dresses and our heels. Excuse me, bitch. First of all, women is not an invention of dresses and heels for women. If you look at fashion and history, men have always worn heels and dresses in the olden days, if she knew anything about stuff. But, she has a problem with when it comes to gender and sexuality and thinking that they're one and the same and they're not. And I agree with you. I started watching around that time because I think that was around the time where she was taking a lot of the extensive breaks. But because the show has been so, I remember like when the fall of this current season came, I was like, let me jump in and start watching the show again because I want to see like if she's improved. Whatever the case was, she was still messy. She was still forgetting shit. She was still fucked up. And I'm looking at this girl like, she ain't evolved. And I wish she kind of would evolve at her age and what she's doing with her career and stuff. And yeah, and I also agree with you when you said that it's funny how this is all coming out around the time of the biopic, when in fact I remember hearing people, saying that maybe they're in cahoots together and this is some sort of ruse to get people interested in watching that Lifetime movie. So you might be onto something. So Sailor Mermaid says, I love me some Wendy Williams, but sometimes she needs to chill and got to get herself together. Yes, she does. And them little vacations that she took, you thought she would get herself together, but apparently not. So anyway, Lindsay, what say you on the subject?
No, I agree. But two things I do want to know, though. One, did Wendy and her team ever take the unconscious bias module?
Oh Lord, she's taking us back to work.
I just want to know.
I had to take that.
And two, Tommy still hasn't told us of whether or not he likes her dress from Monday.
You know what?
No, but real quick, this
Yes.
goes back to like the whole Tiffany Poland situation and stuff. It's just like the outing thing and just saying things like that, like outing people. It's just not okay. The only difference here is that this is her brother. So obviously she knows more than anybody else would. So if she's implying something, there's not a guess. It's not like a rumor. Like what we're doing is we're going based on what the bloggers and what we're noticing from Wendy Williams, but we don't personally know her or her family. She does. So if she's stating something and she's throwing the subs, it has to be true. It definitely does. But she's always had that little homophobic comments, like anything that she thinks in her head is delicate, she doesn't consider you a man. Didn't she also play one of the DJs from Hot 97 because he got lipo?
Oh, Funk Master Flex? Yeah.
Yes. I'm like,
she even did it again yesterday when she interviewed Salt and Pepper.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see yesterday's episode. Oh, girl. But with that being said, too, it could also be she's probably had enough. You know what I mean? She's still not 100% stable. She still has demons, and I'm pretty sure she's trying her best to control them. And people like that, they still struggle a little bit. So maybe with the age and what she's going through, not to excuse it 100%, but she has that kind of let me do whatever I want attitude, and just maybe she's had enough too. Over the years, now that she lost her mother, she doesn't have to maybe be a certain way and divorce and whatnot. Now she's like, you know what? You gonna come and attack me? I'm just gonna boop, 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 come and play everybody else out. It's just gonna sell because right now that's what the entertainment business is all about. It's all about someone being exposed and pulling out all the information that they need.
Yeah, like I said, everybody grieves in their own way. She doesn't have to reveal every aspect of her personal life to us. We don't need to know all that. Just give the fans enough that they can get by and move on. But the airing the dirty laundry on both sides, I feel like, is just unnecessary and tacky, and grown ass people acting a fool. And it makes you kind of look like, Shirley clearly was the one the glue that held the family together, even when, I don't know if everybody in here has a lot of siblings. I do, and I don't get along with every one of my siblings. So we make things work the way we make it work, and I'd be upset if one of my siblings put my dirty laundry out there in the streets. I mean, I don't mind kissing and telling and spilling my tea, but because it's fair. Like if I'm going to be out here spilling celebrity business for a living, I mean, you kind of do, and I guess in a way, owe it to your fans to give them a little bit of what's going on in your personal life. I'm not saying that we need to know like how you like it when you're getting hit from the back, or do you like it on, I don't even know aspects of your sex life and all that other stuff. I don't even know all that personal shit. But if there's stuff that's going out on in the world in regards to your personal life that's all over the news, being vague about it was kind of irritating. But I guess what it was that she was just saving it all for the biopic and the documentary, which comes on next week on Lifetime. Speaking of which, did you hear Little Kim wants a biopic? What do y'all think about that?
I'm down for it. Why not?
I'll watch that.
Right?
I mean, I'm gonna watch Wendy's just because it's just like whatever. I'm gonna watch it, give me something to talk about. But as far as Lil Kim goes, I feel like Lil Kim has been in the game long enough to have gone through she has gone through certain things that are like, no, not a lot of people experience that. So I'd watch it. And I'm not the biggest Lil Kim fan, but I'm tuned in.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check out. I mean, when it happens, I don't think she needs to go to Lifetime. I think because that's the only channel Wendy Williams knows. Everybody needs to go to Lifetime, I guess, to get a biopic. I would like to see her get, like I said earlier on my podcast, I'd like to see her get maybe the Roxanne Shante glow up, like they did, like put it on Netflix or something or another like that. It don't necessarily, everything don't have to go on some damn Lifetime or some commercials. You got to put it on BET. BET could use some ratings over there, and or Netflix or Hulu, something or another. Like Little Kim, I do agree. Like she's a pioneer in regards of female hip hop of where it is today. If it wasn't for someone like a Little Kim or Foxy Brown, I don't want to see more Foxy Brown because she only came out with 2 albums and she had the nastiest of attitudes. Coming up, I guess I know because I know how we Virgos are. We could be shady, but Little Kim was someone that everybody loved to work with. She was a pioneer within fashion. She was always, on runways, and people loved dressing her. And she was always talking about Christian Dior and all these other designers long before like a lot of these people took it further. And we could talk about the whole thing with Nicki Minaj or whatever the case is. We don't need to go there with that. How she basically took the blueprint of what Kim did and pushed it a little further. Because that's what everybody does. When you see somebody who inspires you, you take a little what they do from all these different people and take it a little further, take it up, step it up. And I would love to see that. Like I want to see the relationship with her and Biggie, because he beat her ass. I like to see what happened, because she said she didn't like the girl from Power, Notori. She didn't like that she played her. So I mean, she wants Tiana Taylor to play her. Now she looks like Amanda Lepore. So it'll be interesting to see. There's always, I don't know, for some reason, I always got to throw in a little Kim dig, even though I love her. She's the queen. Big Mama Thing is my favorite song. Was never a single for obvious reasons, but I can recite that whole album, that whole song.
Her signature.
Yeah, I used to be scared of the... But anyway, that was like
not on this show.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. I don't want us to get flagged. Certain things you can't say on there. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to the Wendy documentary. Hopefully, we'll be on here to break it down and talk about it, the highs and lows and all the stuff when it comes out. I know a Salt and Pepper one, I believe, is on as we speak. That's 3 hours, and I heard Cinderella's pissed because she was pretty much not even included when she played a big part in the success of Salt and Pepper. So I don't know how you just neglect the DJ because y'all got issues, but whatever. So let's talk about Miss Tyra Banks. And we've talked about this a little a couple of weeks ago. I think all 3 of us, we talked about things from the past and how people are looking at it with 2020 eyes and all sorts of stuff. Well, apparently there's some more tea in regards to that. So Tyra is facing more America's Next Top Model criticism, this time over runway challenges. So even though years have passed since the show first premiered in 2003, resurfaced clips continue to put Tyra at the forefront of criticism over the show's intense environment. So a TikTok video of an episode where contestants had to dodge huge swinging pendulums while modeling service online. Well, yeah, they had them doing, basically, it was like an episode of Wipeout, but on a runway. And the funny thing is, I believe I've seen actual runway shows where they put girls in like these enormously high shoes, and a lot of them can't walk into when they bust that. There's always designers that have models do crazy shit and put on crazy outfits where you literally see them, they can't hold up their balance because they weigh like 8 pounds soaking wet, and they bust their ass on the runway because it's all about the extravaganza of it all. And I feel like a lot of these people who watch this show don't get that Tyra was thinking in a way of her modeling experience and seeing how a lot of designers come up with crazy concepts. and trying to do that to keep it fresh from watching the show. So one person wrote, Tyra ain't seen heaven, that's for sure. And then another person wrote, Tyra, okay, girls, time for a mini challenge. And the challenge is basically like a scene where there's like ladders separated. And it's like if you miss a step, you basically fall to your death. So there's like a lot of people basically up here with a lot of memes and this, that, and the other. And Tyra has addressed the ridicule in the past, like with the other stuff, when the girls would talk about how the racism and stuff on the show. She said, I apologize for it because we put it out. And even me just watching it after, I was like, oh, this ain't right. We felt like our skin is beautiful. Let's paint the world our color. And then when we saw it, we were like, oh no, this excuses other people to do this in a negative way. And so we realized that, and I went on my talk show and did an entire segment on what we did. What we did was wrong, and we apologized for it, but not everybody saw that. There's a whole new generation of people that didn't grow up with my show and didn't see that. So does Tyra have to continue to apologize every time something happens with, oh, we actually got one of the...
Boom.
I didn't know this was coming, but yes. I was like, we got one of the challenges. Somebody's in a ball. Hopefully they can breathe. I was actually thinking, like, you know what, with the Rona and everything going around, why can't we put people in those shits and go to a club?
Thank you.
Real quick sidebar. That girl that was just talking, or I guess she's also in the balloon, doesn't she look like Cat from Black Ink? Or is it just me?
Black Ink Crew?
Yes.
Which season?
I stopped watching that after season 6.
Yeah, I kind of,
yeah.
I remember Young Bay came into my store at Herald Square. It's my Dominique. But other than that, I'm like, I haven't watched Black Ink in a while. Like, I feel like the show it's fake, it's ridiculous. Like, I remember one of my friends who was a tattooist was like, he worked when we used to work at AMC. I forgot his name, tall, skinny black kid. They used to do a lot of tattoos. But I remember he said like he hated that show from the first season because it was more of a focus on the drama rather than actual tattooing. And I don't like C's. I think he's an idiot. But I did like Sky, who was on there. And she was the one that kept me interested in that show. But it was just like, I just don't care. But speaking on America's Next Top Model, do you think she has to constantly apologize every time some child who didn't grow up with America's Next Top Model is upset over a challenge because somebody basically, a model got put in an episode of Wipeout and didn't realize it?
No. I feel like the same 2 minutes that it took you to Google the controversial thing that you saw in this episode, you could do a 2-minute Google search to see whether they address the situation or not. Because, like you said, it's been done before. As far as like this whole Wipeout-esque runway thing, that era of TV was like the era that they would do so much crazy shit on stuff, so much crazy things on competition shows that it's like, I don't know if I had to censor myself. But
we curse.
Oh, okay. Well, they had so much crazy shit going on, and it's like that's not even the worst of the reality TV back then. So if someone has to walk on a runway and dodge a pendulum, then dodge the pendulum. You're trying to win $100,000, no, or whatever the prize was then. And going back to like what you said, Kris, back then they had these fashion designers who wanted like crazy things done for their runway. If you want to be a model and you can't walk in some heelless Lady Gaga, all this in the front, nothing in the back, if you can't do that, then you're not ready for the competition, which goes back to kind of like Drag Race, where it's just like you go into the competition knowing you can't sew, but that's going to pose a challenge in the future. You know what you're signing yourself up for.
Exactly. And that's like where I heard that Miss Cracker, basically, just to get by on Drag Race with a sewing challenge, she was like, teach me the basics, just enough to get by, and that's it. And that's what you need to do, just learn the basics, enough to get you by. Nobody's saying that you got to be, a seamstress when going in, but at least know what you are doing in regards of, just be prepared to know, like, if you're going to do a show that has these requirements. I'm sure y'all watch the show. I hate when people say, oh, I've never seen the show before I audition. Really?
Exactly.
So I'm supposed to believe that. Yeah, okay.
It's like very much like the pendulum scene specifically, like that was in season 1. So like there's been seasons where Tyra had the girls walking on like little platforms in water. She's had people walking in a very dim lit room when one of the contestants was considered legally blind. It's like these are the things that you have to sign. You know what you're signing yourself up for. So you just either have to get with it or go home.
And Sailor Mermaid says, no, people have to realize you can't judge things in the past with a current mindset. It's done. We can't go back to change it. And also continue to say, Tyra and others were products of, Tyra and others I think you meant were. Tyra, so you had it right the first time. Tyra and others were products of that time period. We all were. And what we can do is learn from the mistakes and errors and correct them in the future. 1,000% agree. Yeah, I do think it's ridiculous that people still want to continue to look at stuff that happened 20 years ago with a 2021 Me Too mindset. And it's like, okay, you have a right to express your opinion, and wait, Lindsay, did we get your opinion on this?
I agree. Here's what I'm going to say. Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model, has not been on in years. So it doesn't, at this point, the fact that we're even talking about it is just so silly because it's ridiculous. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to do, and you can't change nothing. It's not current.
Yeah. So, I think that's all we have to say on that. So moving right along. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming to an end, as we all know, because they have to deal with Hulu and everything. But word on the street is that the rocky end of Kim's marriage to Kimye will air on the show's final season, and Mr. West is not too happy about it. So, according to Us Magazine, while the series, which began in 2007, that long ago, has always followed the family's most personal moments, not everyone is happy about the cameras capturing their relationship troubles. Wes, who's 43, going on 12, is less than thrilled about it. Insiders exclusively tell us. Earlier this month, a separate source told us that the KKW Beauty founder is coming to terms with the pair's looming split. She will continue to focus on her business empire. Kim has been an individual counseling and is at peace with where her life is headed. Issues within the marriage, as y'all know, began they said in July, but honey, them issues was lasting longer than that. That issues lasted the moment she met his crazy ass. But let me continue. Following the Yeezy designer's first presidential campaign, during which the Yeezy designer, we should use that word loosely because them Yeezys is ugly. The shoes, the outfits, like anybody could basically take a white t-shirt, set it afire, and put it on somebody and charge $500 for that shit. So I don't know how you going to call him a fashion designer. That is, I don't know what the fuck that is. That looked like sleepwear that you give inmates. But let's continue. So issue with the marriage began, well, I already read that part. So it says Kardashian began meeting with divorce attorneys at the time, but did everything possible to stay together for the sake of their kids, North St. Chicago, and so on. After spending most of 2020 in different states, the pair got into a massive fight in December, blah, blah, blah. We all know the rest. What do y'all think about this shit airing on the final season? They're, airing their marriage stuff on this final season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Remy.
All I really have to say about it is, again, you knew what you signed up for. Kanye West met Kim Kardashian. He knew what she was about. He knew what her family was about. To believe that a portion of your life will not be aired because it's an inconvenience to you is dumb. So you know what you signed up for, and now you got to deal with it.
That's exactly what I said. He knows exactly who he married. Like her whole entire existence based on her revealing aspects of her life in front of cameras, in front of millions of people. That's why people watch her. She's a personality. So, and her and the entire family, that's how they made their bones. So for him to think that he's excluded from the matter, and the fact that he thinks that he has control over the narrative when Kanye don't have nobody. Like, we don't know where his father is. I don't know if his father's still alive. Donda's passed away. God rest her soul. So he basically and Kim has her entire family to protect her regardless. So, they all come together when their backs are up against the wall. So there's that loyalty there, even though they fight and all this other stuff, but that's what family does. So he's outnumbered with this. And I feel like it doesn't fit his narrative. That's why he's upset, because he can't profit from it in some sort of way. Like, he tried to profit off the whole running for president and the Trump thing and all that other crap. So, Lindsay, your thoughts?
Nope, same thing. Nothing to jump. Nothing to add. This listen. Didn't he at one point? Didn't he get interviewed? Was it by Oprah or something with them two together? And they were asking about how he feels about all this, and he called her a genius and the family a genius, and he's like that. He's all on board for it. Now he's like backpedaling because he thinks in his head is affecting him. But listen, this is their job, regardless of how anyone feels about the Kardashians. This is their job. Their job is to show everything and anything about their lives. So it doesn't make it any difference. Everybody, every one of them girls has been through a divorce, breakup, and the worst things in between. So, yeah, he's just being a crybaby about it, and we're all still gonna see the last episode just to see probably how he feels about it. But it's just silly. It's silly that right now that's just bothering him. It's a joke.
Also quite curious what content they're going to create for Hulu. I mean, is it another reality show? Like, I feel like they don't even need to go there with the whole reality show thing. I think they need to possibly do something else. We'll see what that all is once, it all comes to fruition. But Sailor Mermaid says, you knew what she and the family is about. Agreed. And it's funny because I remember what Amber Rose said, that they'll use him until they're done with him. And, as much as I know you are a Kardashian fan, I don't know I don't know if Remy's a bigger Kardashian fan. I believe you are probably the biggest Kardashian fan on here, but it's sort of like, yeah, that's what they do. They chew you up, spit you out, move on to the next one. So you knew what you signed up for. I don't know how you thought you was exempt from, the Black Mamba sting, but it is what it is. Oh Lord, not this fight. Is this the commentary with Drita? Because that's my favorite clip with the commentary where Drita's narrating the entire fight. I love that clip. That's like one of my favorite clips. We talked about this before. But speaking of relationships coming to an end, so apparently Kenya Moore, whore, and Mark Daly, I forgot, who was it that called that? Was it? Oh, it was Phaedra. Kenya and Marcus finally split again. After they said this is what happened. So Mark Daly says in a statement to The Root, after recently attending mediation, Kenya and I have agreed to end our marriage. I will always have a great care for her. Yeah, okay, girl. And look forward to amicably continuing to co-parent our daughter Brooklyn with an abundance of love and wisdom. Now, who wrote that for him? Because you know damn well that's what he wasn't doing throughout their relationship, allegedly. As always, in addition to perpetual self-improvement, my primary focus will continue to be helping in the undeserved and people of color in Brooklyn to recover from the negative impact of the COVID. Of the COVID-19 pandemic. This focus will take shape through using my restaurant as a community hub. Child, you looking to keep that restaurant afloat, but let's continue. Where positive and diverse perspectives on important topics such as economic empowerment, social activism, political engagement can be highlighted as blah, 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 blah. So, Kenya told about she tried everything, if y'all been watching this season of Real Housewives. I'll say this, I'm like 4 episodes behind on that show because this season has been so boring. I don't even think Nene coming back would have been able to help keep the show interesting. I really don't. Like, Nene being there, the show still would probably be boring. But this whole thing with Kenya and Mark splitting, like we've been saw the writing on the wall. She just still was trying to hold on to something because she didn't want to, I guess, accept that this marriage was done. It's failed. She's not willing to leave Atlanta. He's not trying to leave New York. He has his restaurant and everything here, his life, messing with other women, allegedly, or some men, because I don't know, Caribbean men. I know how some of y'all get down.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that right now.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna have another. No, some be outing people, allegedly. So what do y'all think of Kenya and Mark splitting?
I mean, we saw it coming because like the last episode at Cynthia's, wasn't it like her winery opening or whatever, when I think it was Marlo, I want to say, that was talking to Mike or Mark and was like, oh, it's a beautiful thing, you and Kenya, something along those lines. And he was like, oh yeah, not for long, or like he made in a comment that made it seem like it was done, it was over. And then lo and behold, we find out a few episodes later that they separated, or like a few weeks later when the reunion aired. So it was just like the writing's on the wall. It's just, when is Kenya going to put on her reading glasses to read it? Because I feel like she got her reading glasses. She could read all these girls down, but she can't read the writing on the wall about her relationship.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. You're 100% right, and I also feel like I know it's gonna be terrible to say because everyone gets tired of this, but I think she was just holding on to this just for a storyline, just for something to give. Because I mean, since the first time they met in the first season, the way he behaved, the way that he interacted with her was no bueno. Last season, no bueno. So for her now, and then didn't they go on a tour? Didn't she go on a tour about her getting divorced and she was leaving him, and the only time she saw him was at the baby's first birthday or something, and now it's
I know in the first
it's
episode of this season, she saw a divorce lawyer and was trying to figure out, like, I mean, she was entertaining the idea of divorce, but then she was also still trying to hold on to the marriage. But the writing's on the wall, so you know what? This is her storyline, and then next season she'll have to come up with a new one. So let's just let the divorce play out, and we'll see where it goes. And yes, hi JBJF Faro. That's a new person
hi.
on the line saying, "Hey, girl." But yeah, I agree. Like, this marriage was done. Girl, move on. Look, you got a kid out of the situation. I know she always wanted to be a mother. As far as like being a wife, marriage comes with a lot of sacrifices, and I don't feel like she is mentally there. I don't think we should all just put it off on Mark as it's all his fault. I mean, although we did see last season how disgustingly rude he was to her. But there's two sides of when it comes to a relationship, and I don't know how much effort she was putting into the marriage and vice versa. But we know, like, when it comes to those Caribbean men, they like things a certain way. They don't like a woman who is more independent and more of the breadwinner than them. There's a lot of men who can't handle that. So there's a lot. Are y'all looking forward to seeing this Framing Britney Spears documentary that's about to come on FX?
I just saw something about it. I still don't know too much about it. I don't know, to be age. Like I saw the Britney biopic, so I was just like, that's something.
Oh, that was bad. that was on Lifetime. Wendy swears by Lifetime, but that piece of shit was on there. So was the Aaliyah biopic. Huh?
I said a
the
lot
Aaliyah
of
one was good
on it.
I hated they couldn't even get licensed to the music. Look, quiet as it's kept, Apple Music and Spotify can't even get the license to Aaliyah's music. So nobody can get Aaliyah's music. It was supposed to come out this year, but apparently they couldn't get their hands on it. Thank you, Jesus, I got the CDs. So at least I could still, I don't have a CD player, but if I wanted to, I could still listen. I'll have to figure out a way to listen to.
On your laptop? Oh, no, you don't even have a thing to play.
Yeah, I don't. Like, the new laptops, you can't even put like CDs and shit.
You gotta buy a whole other drive for it.
I mean, if you have, I have a drive somewhere. Or you can use like a Blu-ray machine and stuff and play music in there. Yeah, they much are traditional. But so New York Times has a docu-series, and one of them is called Framing Britney Spears, which will dig deep into the life of the singer, that will air on FX and FX on Hulu on the 5th of next month. It will examine the singer's hotly contested conservatorship, the complex court arrangement that sees her well-being and estate, among other things, controlled largely by her father, Jamie. A synopsis for the 6th episode reads, according to WION, it re-examines Britney Spears' career and offers a new assessment of the movement rallying against her court-mandated conservatorship, capturing the unsavory dimensions of the American pop star machine. Britney is introduced in a trailer as a focused girl who came from strength before unraveling, making it only the more jarring, as one interviewer remarks, how we treated her was disgusting. She accepted the conservatorship was going to happen, another interviewee says, but she didn't want her father to be the conservator. Some of those approached by the New York Times for framing Britney Spears questioned the motivations of her father, whether it be his control of Britney's wealth or his role as a decision maker in her life. Why she's still in this one added of footage from a Free Britney rally plays. Well, I don't know if y'all been paying attention and looking at Miss Spears, but she ain't all the way well.
Yeah.
So I like her. I would like her to have her career back. Look, she's going to be 40 next year. Oh, wait. She was born in December. She's going to be 40 this year. So it'd be nice if she got,
I know that there have been a lot of comments and a lot of people saying a lot of different things about me, but I just want to let you guys know that I am fine. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm sending all of you guys a lot of prayers, wishes, and a lot of love.
Fine there.
Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. First of all, I'm not happy that they're doing this because I feel like this kind of show and what they're saying, what they're doing, should be more, when someone passes away or one of those people who goes to jail and they can't do nothing to defend
Oh my
themselves.
God, not when she's dead.
Well, yes, think about it. Like what I'm trying to get at is what they're presenting should be when she's like gone, or like for those people who went to prison and they're not going to be out ever. You know what I mean? Like my thing is, you're bringing this now, and it's gonna make it much more worse for her and her peoples, and this can affect us a type of way because now more people are gonna assume things, and I just think it may make the matters worse while the lady is
Well,
still
maybe
here.
it'll help her get out of the. Maybe the expose will help her
Yeah.
get out of the conservatorship, or maybe loosen the strings a little bit. I don't know. Based off her mental state, she says, "Oh, I'm fine," but we look at the videos and we look at her. Clearly, she's doing her own makeup. Um, you know, I,
Well, you
sorry.
see, here's another thing I want to say about that too is this is all perception and media. Listen. At the end of the day, this is a person who was a child, right? She was a child star from
Yeah, I remember when she performed on Star Search,
she
and
was
I do
Yay
agree that
Baby to now.
people treated her like crap when when she was going through calling all kinds of the slag word. I'm using a British term, which I know what slag is. When they were calling also because she was perpetuating this whole sexual thing where she was like what 17, 18, but that wasn't even her decision. That was the label telling her, people don't realize like major labels come up with these ideas on how to come across and how to act and how to behave and what your image is going to be. Like these kids a lot of times don't come up with their own image. Their images are created for them. So having her play, I remember the first time when Britney first came, remember when they made her boobs extremely huge. And then all of a sudden we saw like, I'm like, oh, okay. And then one day they were down on regular size. And again, I seen like they look like she went and got the Pamela Anderson implants when they were just pretty much, I guess, trying to play up the whole sexual Pop Tart situation. So a lot of it is the industry, the media, all these people played up this thing, and she's just a sweet little girl from Indiana. And what I feel is like this industry broke her. And not a lot of people have the strong mindset. Not everybody could be a Madonna or a Cher or a Kylie where they can handle, the craziness of the music industry. Some people break.
Yeah, and but it's also not just about breaking. What I'm saying is, when we see her with her crazy makeup, that's her doing her. Like, think about it this way: from the billion, trillion, quadrillionaires and the famous celebrities and the housewives, they have a team doing it. But how many of them can actually do their own makeup, let's say, and give a good blowout and stuff? You probably look like
not
a mess.
a lot of them.
I think Britney is one of those like, listen, I don't need a team because I'm not working. I don't have a project. I'm not working. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just living my carefree life. But what I'm trying to say is this is where the manipulation can be, where, she's being taken care of. She's under, court ordered adult babysitted person. You know what I mean?
Conservatorship.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is she's going through all that. And then she goes on Instagram or she's going to the store. In her head, she's getting on like any other typical girl who leaves out of this building of mine to the supermarket wearing PJs and her head in a messy, dirty bun. And you can tell she hasn't washed her hair in 3 days.
Yeah.
But for us, we think that's okay. But we're finding it to be an issue because this is Britney Spears. And that's what I'm trying to get at, where it's like,
you're right.
We can't go too hard on it when she naturally just could be doing her own natural thing. I promise you, I'm pretty sure if she was to go on an interview tomorrow on Good Day New York or whatever, she's not going to go like that. She's going to be fixed. You know what I mean? She just does not have the talent to fix herself up. I mean, I wonder what would happen if she was done all day like one of the housewives. I wonder if people would still say, hey, she's not okay. She's going through something. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at, guys?
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
I got you.
Look,
I still want to see this documentary though. Like, I'm just curious. I want to see what's the situation and get an idea of what's going on with like try to learn more about the conservatorship, because the only time I hear about this thing, you hear things here and there in the news and the media, and I just want to learn a little bit more about it from people who are saying they're insiders or reporters or people who are lawyers. Like, I want to learn what's going on with that and then draw my own conclusions, my own assessment. Like, I don't I'm not the type of person that lets people speak for me or think for me. I like to just get all the information and then just come to my own conclusion. But Remy, you wanted to say something?
No, what I was gonna say was, as long as the documentary doesn't shine like a negative light on her throughout the entire documentary about her conservatorship or anything, I'm down to watch it because I would like more insight. But if all they're gonna do is spend an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, 2 hours just trash talking her and making it seem like she's the crazy one, then I won't tune in because that's not what I want to see. I like Britney Spears, but like I want to be more in tune and more informed about what's going on, as opposed to just like them pointing the finger and trying to make her seem like she's a bad person. And like you said, Lindsay, it's like she doesn't need the makeup team. She doesn't need that. So like she's just your average, everyday girl, or whatever. She just happens to be famous.
I agree. She is. Her whole. Just a sweet little Southern girl from Louisiana, Kentwood, Louisiana, who just so happens to be one of the biggest pop stars in the world. And she plays the game of being all glittery and glamoury and all the other stuff. And that's that. That's just her. She's being herself outside of this whole thing. And I think you're right that people expect a lot from celebrities. They want us to be J-Lo all the time. Speaking of which, I can't believe we forgot it. We didn't talk about the inauguration.
Oh.
Because I just dropped in with the whole J-Lo situation. So anybody got thoughts on it? I know, I did watch the inauguration. It happened on Wednesday. It was my day off, so I did watch it. The president, vice president getting sworn in, and I did watch the performances. I watched Lady Gaga, and I watched who I thought did a great job. And she was, giving us very much Hunger Games realness with the outfit. And I heard someone tell this shady ass joke, which I thought was hilarious. They said that Gaga wore the big eagle that Carrie Bradshaw wore on her head at her wedding. And had it downsized as a brooch. I did think that was funny. But and then Jennifer Lopez performed, and that's why I was saying, like, I'm glad that was a great segue that we were supposed to talk about in the beginning, but it was a great segue working this in. How she brought in the glitz and the glamour, very much coming down the walkway with the hair laid and everything is perfect, and she's wearing her designer outfits, and she goes to the mic and she's, performing and all the other stuff. She gives us, glamour all day long. I'd like to see J-Lo kind of just in a pair of sweats and no makeup. I'd like to see that once in a while. I think we do get a little bit of that from her YouTube channel, but to me, she always feels like she's always on point all the time. And I feel like, it's like you said, it's okay to just not always have to be glamorous all the time. You don't have to be Erica Jane all damn day.
True, but look what happens. You might get called crazy or poor or nuts like Britney. So you can't win. Either you're too glam all the time or you're not. There's something wrong in between.
God forbid J-Lo's fashion and her glamour wasn't up there at the inauguration. God forbid. It would have been like, and even then her look was on point. I didn't see the performance, but yet you still had people on social media talking crap about her. And it's just like, you can't win.
You can't win. And that's the thing. It's like we attack everyone else who bullies and talks about what's been going on.
My reads is all in good fun. It's like, don't take it seriously.
People who really going in, saying how disappointed they were. My thing is, she's not a vocalist, but she sung really well. She was there. I heard her voice. She didn't crack. She was good. 2, it's not the thing. She was asked to come. You don't know who requested her. Biden, anybody, somebody.
It was also a historical moment.
It is an historical
to be performing there. Like,
wasn't she like the first person to like sing it in Spanglish or something like that?
I was literally about to bring that up, and you just took the words right. But I think that I think she which you know what, in 2021, we should not be still talking about the first person of color to be doing shit. Like, come on now. Like, are we that slow in this country that we are the first performer ever to sing in Spanish on live American television? Like, come on, like, where are we in 2020? We really need to progress and stop giving a lot of attention to these racist bigots that Trump basically just took advantage of and conned the fuck out of because he needed, little, minions. He thought he was Jim Jones, had all them heifers drinking the Kool-Aid. And at the end of the day, y'all drank the Kool-Aid. He left y'all to die at the Capitol Hill. Great analogy. But Yeah, I thought J-Lo did a good job. And my thing is, you know what? I make the little jokes about the Ashanti situation, whatever the case is, and it's cute. But here's the thing: I don't mind. See, and this is another thing that irritates me too. When singers always want to equate every singer got to be like an Adele or Aretha Franklin or God forbid even an Ariana Grande. Not everybody has to sing like that. There are singers and there are performers. Madonna has improved wholeheartedly on a lot of her singing. People say she can't sing, but you ain't seen her live. I've seen her live plenty of times. She can sing. And she's doing all that crazy shit up there on stage, so she's not lip syncing. Once upon a time, Britney could sing too, but then Britney fucked it up because she kept trying to do the baby voice. Listening to these industry people, that messed up her voice. So now she got a lip sync when she's on stage. There's a lot of people who don't have the best voice, but when you take the voice lessons, you figure out what your strengths are and use it to work to your advantage. So everybody needs to stop trying to think that you're only considered a singer if you are an Adele, an Aretha, a Jennifer Hudson, or somebody like that. Well, Ashanti's vocals did well. I don't know if y'all saw that versus with her and Keisha Cole.
No,
I tuned in for like 2 seconds. I was like, next, like, thank you, next, to quote, Miss Grande. Yeah, that to me, child, y'all should have left that versus battle as nothing more than an email because I don't think anybody asked for an Ashanti versus. Yeah, nobody asked for Ashanti versus Keisha Cole. And I've told you, I've worked with Keisha Cole in the past when I was at VH1. That all over the place, messy singing, don't know where the hell she's at half the time. That's her, period. Like, y'all think that was just her that night? No, I was like, no, that's Keisha. But she was like that during that interview. But anyway, shout out to J-Lo, shout out to Gaga, and shout out to Garth Brooks and the hair plugs. And and all those who performed. I heard Katy Perry closed the show with fireworks.
Best performance out of all of them. That was a performance. The fireworks.
I just need a good album from Katy again because that last one wasn't it. I know you liked it, but
I liked it, but it's not a grand album. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I need something as epic as Teenage Dream and the album that. Oh Lord. Bajo Dios indivisible con libertad y justicia para todos. Let's get
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't watch it, but from what I just saw right here, right now, she was giving me Walter Mercado. She was giving me she was telling me my fortune in Spanish. That's what I got from it. Love J-Lo.
Walter Mercado, child.
That's what I got. Alexis Mateo doing Walter Mercado just now.
No,
I did a Walter Mercado read one time, and somebody hated me for it. But I live for the Walter. Look, I feel like nobody's off limits. You made the Walter Mercado read. I thought that was funny, but yeah. I don't know what to say after that.
It was good. It was good.
But yeah. Okay, let's move on. So this is not it's not a celebrity thing, but I just thought it was interesting to bring up. So a Taco Bell employee by the name of Lana Wells is apparently unemployed after ticking off a coworker who filed a complaint about Lana's past as a porn star, but Taco Bell claims that's not what happened. Lana claims the fast food joint in Newport, Arkansas canned her less than a week ago after she landed the job. She reportedly started working at Taco Bell after she stopped doing porn so she'd avoid catching COVID. Well, they ain't stopped a lot of these gays, but moving right along. Wells was no slouch to her previous job. She's been featured on Pornhub and scored 2 AVN Award nominations. Y'all laughing. She told the Daily Beast she was about to clock into work when her manager called to drop the hammer. Oh, funny with the puns, TMZ. Wells is pissed because she said she told the hiring manager about her sex work during the interview and even asked if it was going to be a problem. Taco Bell, however, claims Wells was not fired for her porn creds. Instead, the company says the former team member worked for a franchise location and the franchise has informed her that the accusations made were not accurate and that she was instead terminated for violation of their policies and procedures. The Bell isn't saying which policies and procedures she violated. Lana's now raising money online, claiming she was wrongly terminated. Now, if they're not going to tell what it was, then isn't it because of her porn star past? Like, they were okay with it, but now they're trying to say something different. But the word on the street was that I heard a customer recognize her. I'm like, don't they be wearing masks in there? How you recognize y'all be paying attention to the eyes when y'all beating off? Like, really? Yeah. I don't know. This sounds fishy. Oh yeah. Sailor Mermaid said, "Girl, you know the MAGA gringos was sizzling and panicking." Yeah, I know. The Karens was on the phone immediately trying to call because J-Lo was speaking Spanish on TV. No, y'all can't be speaking that mira shit. Yeah, okay, girl. But you know how the saltines think. But so back to this story.
No, I was gonna say, first of all, I mean, technically, you can't. They can disclose on her termination. They can say it wasn't for that reason. Like, for example, let's say one of us got terminated for something, and you ask the question, "Was it for this?" If it wasn't for that, we can say no, it's not. But we can't tell you what was the reason. Just like if she was to apply another job and they were to call Taco Bell and ask why was she termed, they can't disclose that. The only way they'll know if it was a really bad reason was that question is, would you rehire this person that came back? Now you can say yes or no. If you say no, then you know they were termed for something really bad. But what I'm really more concerned about this is how you went from being a porn star then working to Taco Bell. I think Taco Bell, you make how much an hour? Like, what happened?
I think they're making less than what I'm making an hour. But
right. So how you? I don't think doing porn anymore is bringing you billions of dollars, but I think you make more than you would working 25 hours at Taco Bell closing their fryers.
You want to know what it is that she needed something for the W-2s. She needed to put something down to make sure that the money's coming in legit. But I had the same thought.
Wait, don't you file a W-2 when you do like an OnlyFans in the Senate? I believe that you can file a W-2 for that.
Yeah.
True. But some of these girls out here are scamming that system too. But that's another topic for another day. Anywho, no, I feel like if she was nominated for awards for her porn but didn't win, then clearly her porn it's not that great. And I guess she does need the job at Taco Bell. I don't know.
But wait,
Lindsay, she gotta pay the rent. But also, wait, what state did you say this was in?
Arkansas.
Isn't minimum wage in Arkansas like
$7.29 probably? Ooh, you said $3. I at least look. We about to play The Price is Right. No, it's $1. Look.
Hold on. I'm just thinking right now. How do you want to interview and be like, talk to me about your last job? Well, I was nominated for my porn.
For laying it low and spreading it wide in front of millions of people on the camera. Look, everybody do the job. Look, it is what it is. But look, she said the reason why she went and got a job at Taco Bell is because she didn't want to catch any diseases due to COVID. But like I said, it ain't stopped these gays. Everybody, they have, all these porn stuff. We're about to get into it in a second because I got a list of the top Just for Fans models of the year. There's people that's out here still making porn and still carrying. And I said, even in COVID, that ain't stopped me from fornicating. But
also, no shade. It's just Taco Bell, girl. You could have worked.
It's just Taco Bell.
Right around the
like, girl, aim higher. They ain't got nothing else in Arkansas besides some damn Taco Bell. I ain't eaten Taco Bell in years. You said Piggly Wiggly. I'm done.
Not the Piggly Wiggly.
They don't care what your history is, as long as you're there. You good.
Yeah, but I just don't feel like it's right. I know the shade, honey, but I don't think it's right to just because someone has. I think to get more serious, there is that slippery slope of like, okay, now what if I don't want to do porn anymore and I want to get a legitimate job, and you're going to hold that against me because I want to get a regular job, but now you're looking at it as like, oh, I can't work. Because I believe there was a similar situation that happened not too long ago where there was a girl who had OnlyFans that worked for a company, and her coworkers were talking about her and they were saying that she's a distraction, and then they ended up firing her that way. So that's kind of like the way I was looking at it from that standpoint.
You brought up a good point, but she was still actively doing it. that affects the brand. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, the other girl.
Yeah. If you're actively doing something, yeah, then
But I
you can
can't
step
make
in.
videos out on my downtime when I'm not on the clock. I mean, it
No.
wasn't like I was in. It wasn't like I was at our job and I'm in the office. Well, first of all, there's cameras up in there, so that'd be the worst place to do. But
No. If they are bringing it, if you were to do something inappropriate right now, and let's say Remy brings it to work and he's mentioning it, and it affects the job, then yes, they can terminate you because you are affecting the job. You're bringing it to the job and you're affecting the brand. But if it's something from your past and you brought up in your interview, then no. Like if it's something you're not doing actively, they cannot say anything to you.
okay. Well, speaking of porn,
Look at me bringing up my little HR book.
Well, no, look, Miss Manager. You can bring in the expertise because a lot of people don't know what the requirement is in regards of, say, if you have someone that came over to the job and you do interview people. So when it comes in for when somebody comes in for an interview and you're interviewing them and you recognize them doing some stuff. Because everybody these days got OnlyFans and this, that, and the third. If they came up in there and they were, doing the job and you recognize them, I mean, understanding what the rules are in that way, it definitely helps those who are out here trying to, pursue something. But yeah, but the whole thing about what Remy said with the, if you didn't, you were nominated but you didn't win, it must have not been that. Look, there's a lot of children. There's a lot of children out here who do some good work and don't get nominated. So there's some porn stars that are the Susan Lucci of porn.
Was she
I can't even say that with a straight face.
Nominated for Employee of the Month?
I wonder what her nominations were for. Like, how some people best anal or best, one of those situations. So I kind of wonder what were the nominations. But moving right along. I'm
in the mood for like a Doritos taco now.
Ew.
It was probably best they getting fired at their day job.
Mm-hmm. Do they still make those? The Dorito tacos?
I don't know, but I kind of want one now.
Okay, so we have speaking of porn, for the gays, there is a list that came out, the Justice Fan Male Adult Performers of 2020. I know EJ is going to cure up the photos as I read who are the nominations.
Ooh, there's photos.
Huh?
There's photos. I'm tuned in.
So everybody know what the heck we talking about. So we got Trip Richards, who goes by Triple X Trans Man on social media. Wait, I think there's also a Just for Fans list where they said, what is it? I'm trying to pull it up. Where it says, congrats to all the models who were able to get through 2020. It was an incredible, tough year for sex workers. Here are our top models of 2020. I was trying to see if I could read it, but this shit is so small, but I do have the list here. So anyway, stop laughing. So so we have Triple X Trans Man. Also, we have at number 15, we have Rocco Steele. Child, he's still making porn. Number 14, we have John Thomas, who is a British-based Tim Tales star who made his debut on the list. If y'all go to out.com, they ever got the Twitter links. I'm not putting them here. This ain't that kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13 is someone by the name of Hunger FF, which obviously stands for fisting, in case y'all didn't know that. He's one of the highest performing fetish stars. There's a Persian performer who I know about, Sharak. I don't know if y'all heard of him. It goes by the Sharak on Twitter. Oh, there goes the thing. Oh, somebody said they love Richard. Let me find out.
Oh.
Still American.
Come on, Love Connection.
Okay, number 11. I thought he stopped performing, but Raphael Alencar is number 11. Number 10, L. Batters, who is an anonymous UK performer. We also have at number 9, now I heard of him. He likes the big girls, Deep Filler NYC. Because the only type of girls you see him hitting from the back, they got asses wider than an elephant. But let's continue. I remember at one point he was a bottom. I mean, he got his back blown out by Oh my God, it was like the light skinned one with the big penis that was always doing raw sex. Latino. The name will come to me in a few. There's number 8, Real Men Full Bush. That's a weird name to be calling yourself. Number 7, Cade Maddox. Number 6, Rope Train Keep, who it says that his page is generally focused on his partners as he ties up and subjects to various BDSM techniques. We got number 5, Gabriel Cross. Yeah, he's very active on social media. Number 4, Max Connor. Number 3, Griffin Barrows. Yeah, he was definitely working a lot. Number 2, Raheem Shabazz, who will stick his dick in anything. And number 1, there's a guy by the name of Fat Rabbit Killer 2.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's your list of performers.
And I don't know any single one of them.
I know about 4 of them.
Cool.
I'm not naming names, but about 3 of them belong on that list. What I will say though is, you know what I don't understand? We're not gonna do that. What I will say though is, I don't understand how this is a list that's generated to the top people of 2020 or whatever. When about every other day I see somebody on Twitter talking about some I'm in the top 0.3% of the OnlyFans. It's just like everyone's in the top 3%. You're like, I see that so frequently. I don't get where the scale is to judge who's top and who's not. If everyone's the same percentage.
I'm wondering
I'm
wondering if it has to do with algorithms or how many people subscribe to their Just for Fans. So I'm wondering if it's that way, because they got Triple X Trans Man as the top trans male performer, and they have a whole list. Cobalt, FTM, Connor Atlas, Triple X, Jamal Phoenix, Logan Knight, Triple X Zach Trans Man, Tommy Tanner, FTM. There's a lot of trans men doing porn. Let me find out. Billy Vega is at number 3. Ari Coyote. Wait, what? Ari Coyote. Oh, that was trying to read the name because they literally put their at FTM and Triple X Trans Man. But I'm a child. Triple X Trans Man been doing videos since the days of Chatterbait. So, oh yeah, everybody seems to have a problem with Max Connor. We're not going to get into that conversation about him and the whole racism thing in porn and how they feel like he's a sellout. We're not going. There's a lot of people that have that complaint. But yeah, I know I'm aware of Deep Filler. Oh, hi Nadine. She said Logan is watching on my YouTube. Okay.
Hi, I will call you guys when I'm done.
Yes. So we got 25 minutes left, but we can wrap this up because I have a little game since we got through all our topics. A game I want to play with y'all. This is something that I just came up with earlier. It's called Pay It or Shade It. So I'm going to put up some pictures and we're going to talk about whether we pay it, which of course we love, or shade it, which is like next, thank you, next, in the words of Ariana Grande. So the first picture we're going to put up is Bernie memes. Pay it or shade it. When those pictures pop up. I should have said, are we ready, production?
You just put them on the spot.
Oh, sorry. I know, we was just like 25 minutes left. Oh, yeah. So, hi, Nadine. Hi, Logan. So, yeah, let's move on from the dirty stuff. Because I was like, child, I'm gagging. He's like, Mommy, what's porn?
We save that for the after show.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Max and who's Killer Rabbit?
Okay, so let's try that again. So we have, first one is Bernie memes. Oh wait, they said their content is good. Love Triple X Trans Man, Ari Coyote, Billy Vega. Let me find out you watch a lot of trans porn.
We need to talk to
Sailor Mermaid.
Sailor Mermaid.
Well, I must say, look, I don't discriminate, as someone who loves someone of the same gender. Some of these trans men out here be looking kind of hot. I don't rule out doing the do with some. I'm trying to keep it clean because we have child watch. So yes, once again, trying to get those pictures up. Bernie memes. Or should I do? As Nene did on her 2 minutes. Okay.
Well, to get started, the Bernie memes, we've all seen them, but I think they're like the hottest thing of 2021 so far, because they have me weak. In the places you would least expect it, they photoshopped that man sitting down, waiting, sitting alone in the VIP. Too funny. I like every time I see a new one, whether it's something from Star Wars, album covers, anything, it's just like, who has the time?
I made one for work. I'll send it to you guys later.
Oh, you did? Oh yeah, that was, to me. I thought the Bernie memes were hilarious.
Same.
The minute I saw, I know some people are like, oh, it's tired. I'm like, okay, stick in the butt. Shut the fuck up. You're just mad. Like you're just all of a sudden, oh, don't think they're funny. Well, we didn't ask your opinion. Who asked your opinion, Patrice? Nobody asked you.
Did you see that he made the meme into a sweatshirt and then sold it off, and everything that he made as a profit, or like 100% of the proceeds went to he donated it.
So he like him.
So I was just like, wow, props to you.
Yeah, I did not know that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a good thing, like to take something and instead of making a profit, because he is a millionaire, that he took lemons and turned it into something different. And I do think it was cute. Like the moment I saw when the camera panned to Bernie sitting in with the mitts and he was folded and they folded his arms, looking like he wanted to be everywhere but there. I did think it was funny. Oh, sorry, Raquel. She said, I feel attacked. I'm so over those memes. Well, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about some people in my timeline that was making those kind of eyes. I'm like, okay.
He was given very much. I showed up to the function for 10 minutes. I gotta just to say that I came to show face and I'm about to leave. I got somewhere to go.
Agreed. Oh. Yeah. I know he was working on that. Sorry, I was like, I'm trying to put paid or shaded. Yes, bitch. Put it up again. Put it up again. Put it up again.
Yeah,
that was funny. The Drag Race ones were hilarious. I also love the one. Did you see the Janet album cover?
Yes, Janet posted it as well.
Yeah, that was funny too, where he basically wrapped his entire, mittens and everything. I love those mittens too, and I wanted to get a pair, but I heard they're all sold out. But I really think that person who designed them should like put out a bunch and profit. Nadine says apparently Raquel feels attacked. Oh yeah, I love this one from Pose. That was hilarious. Oh my God, I remember there was the meme where they had Bernie. People thought I took a little too far. It's on my Facebook where, damn it, I should have sent it in to be a part of it. But there was one where I don't know, I forget the guy's name. The one, there's this Latin guy who everybody says is not that attractive, but he basically blows a lot of people for his videos. And there was this young boy back in the day that he did one with, and Bernie was sitting on the couch. I'm like, okay, y'all taking that a little too far with that one. But you know me, I like to push the envelope when it comes to memes. I'm the meme queen on social media.
I love it.
So moving right along so are we paying it or shading it? Obviously, I think we're all unanimously paying it.
I'm paying for it.
I am.
Okay, so moving on, we have Kamala Harris's Vogue cover. Pay it or shade it. Oh yeah, another the Golden Girl one. Yeah, that was funny. And then they did one with Living Single too, which I thought was funny. Oh wait, not Living Single, was Set It Off. That was the one that I thought was funny. It was so he up in there in the car with Cleo and them. Okay, so yeah, so we got Call Me by Your Name. But child, we already heard the story about Armie Hammer, so I don't know. Oh yeah, this one was funny. The UFC, and then he had one with him with his head on Sharon Stone's body in Basic Instinct. Oh, Beefcake Hunter. Oh yes. See, now you know what, Sailor? I love you. You are an honorary co-host of this damn show because he knows exactly what I was talking about. Beefcake Hunter. There was a meme with that one, which I thought was yeah, I love this cover. But okay, so I think so now moving right along to the next one, because we could be here all day with the Bernie memes. We have Kamala Harris's Vogue cover. Are we gonna pay that one or shade it? I know a lot of people were throwing shade at the Kamala Harris one, but me, I didn't mind it all that much. I don't feel like we were saying before with glam and all the other stuff with Britney Spears. Like, I feel like if your job is to run the country or help run the country with the president, do I need to be glammed up all the time? Like, what's wrong with her on a cover of a fashion magazine wearing nothing more than a pantsuit, some Converse, and that's it?
I mean, we're not going for a huge glam moment. Like, this is the Met Gala. It was just like, it's just a photo. It's very straight to the point. This is who your new VP is. Make it history. Boom.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted a Michelle Obama moment, and people need to realize that Barack and Michelle ain't running the country no more. Like, let's move on. And women shouldn't always have to be glammed up. You could be glammed up when the time asks for it, when it's appropriate. And just because it's Vogue magazine doesn't necessarily mean that she needs to have a full-on glam. And I know it's expected.
Yeah, but also, you have to work with they work with what their ideas as well. From what I understand, anyone who makes the cover, they put in their 2 cents. And I'm pretty sure Kamala said, hey, this is what I want. Now, the rest would be a designer suit and, they work the backgrounds. But you have to respect, this is also her style and who she is and she's being true to who she is. So, yeah, it's fine.
I was just going to say, when I see Kamala Harris, I don't picture her to be like at the Met Gala with that Rihanna red huge thing. Like, that's not what I see. I see that this Vogue cover that we got, this is who she is, and that's what she's giving. So, I'm paying for it.
And I do see Rihanna rocking a train of a do-rag on her head, like Miss Thing on Drag Race did it last night's episode. Can I just say, like, she is one of my favorite drag queens on this season?
Same.
So I'm living for her. Exactly. That's what I say, like what Raquel says. It's her. Like, to me, it's like, yes. I'm here to run a country. I'm not here to be pretty and glamorous and all that other stuff when we're trying to clean up the mess that the orange shit stain left in that White House. Hopefully, I'm hoping and praying that they fumigated that place from top to bottom, because the stench of that nasty stink ass family up in there, we don't need it. Let them stay.
And the Oval Office is already relatable.
Wait, right.
To be at least a little bit relatable too. Like, we can't win. We just want to dissect everything. I think this is great. And I think this is also a good point for Vogue. You know what I mean? I would love to see, of course, like the J-Lo's and the Rihanna's and the Lady Gagas and the Katy Perry's all glammed up, but that's the style and that's what they're selling. But I also love, there's been a lot of Vogue covers that, like the Ellens and whatnot, that fits what the buyers are getting into. Like this cover, I see it, yeah, I would pick it up and I'd want to buy it. And I'm pretty sure that it's not, regardless, it is a glam look, and it's a suit that I'm pretty sure would take me maybe 3 checks to get, just the top part. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I agree, but it's unfortunate that from what I'm hearing, Vogue they heard the cries of the people who are complaining, and they're going to do a brand new Vogue cover. So I'm like, can y'all just stick with y'all shit? Let people bitch and moan about stuff and just move on. It's a cover. Did y'all even at least look inside? I mean, I haven't seen the magazine because they're all sold out wherever you go. But if it's, I'm interested in the article. That's the one magazine you read for the articles. Playboy is another story. But as they say, I read it for the articles. But so the next one we have is this is for you, Lindsay, honey. So get it ready, production. Bad Bunny recently showed off a photo of himself looking quite scrumptious and fit. There was a shirtless photo he put of himself up on social media. It's for a movie that he is shooting with Lady Gaga and Brad Pitt, where he's playing I don't know if, I'm gathering he's playing a killer, but Brad Pitt is playing an assassin who's trying to protect someone who there were a bunch of people trying to kill him on a train. So it's basically John Wick on a train. So I want to know, obviously, I know you're going to pay it because it's Bad Bunny with no shirt on. So, just waiting on the photo. The rest of y'all hear the Jeopardy music? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so there it is.
Oh yeah, this picture I took it with my iPhone portrait mode. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I took that picture. Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say about it is, if there was a link for a tip to an OnlyFans account, he would have got tipped.
Good. Yes.
And that's that.
Because Mama's needs more wigs.
Right. You got the Debbie on now.
Yeah, pay.
Yeah, because I think he what was it that he was? Well, this picture was actually taken around, I think it was early this month, and he was wearing what it says that he was wearing a pair of Fendi shorts, as you could see with the design.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying, basically, he said in Spanish, "I am at my peak,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to see if they have the name of the movie in here, but he has 8.3 billion global streams.
I took that one too. I took that one too. I could get into the pool for that.
Oh, I have to say, I did love this photo though. I love me some. Well, we all collectively.
He bend over and you see his cheekies. He's like listen like this.
This show is escalating quickly. Getting a little hot in this kitchen.
Okay, well, it is after 10. Well, it's after midnight somewhere. I was not expecting all these. Oh, yes, honey, these shirtless photos. But I definitely look. Shout out to Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Speaking of Latin superstars, so the next one I have is Ricky Martin, and we talked about this a bit yesterday when we were at work. Ricky Martin has dyed his hair, and not the one on top of his head. So yes, she's walking around like one of these Brazilian OnlyFans stars with a blonde beard. And is that the one we're talking about? Yeah, zoom it in. Oh no, that's not. It's like zoom it in. She always teasing and showing a little bit of her cheeks here, there, and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, I gotta find my fan. I'm gonna have to buy a new one. We got to, you know what? I think we need to
borrow one of mine,
so we can play this pay it or shade it game. We need like a pay it fan and a shaded fan. So there's an idea that I just come up with that we could do for the show, so that we could continue to play this game, because I love this game. This game is fun. So the next photo that I have is of Mr. Ricky Martin with a blonde beard. Oh yeah, Marilyn's laughing. What happened? I was like, I hope you ain't get kicked out. We show a little cheek and stuff. Yeah. So next photo. Shout out to Nene.
Mm-mm.
Oh, is that the first time you saw this photo?
Mm-hmm. No.
I agree. Shaded.
I'm assuming he's back in the studio with Maluma, because he dyed his hair platinum on his scalp, and Ricky.
Did he?
He did. It's super platinum.
So it's not green anymore?
No, unless he just dyed it again, but it's platinum. It's a platinum look.
Because I think Maluma is on the cover of Elle magazine. I have that art. Oh damn! I should have brought that up as part of Pay or Shaded, but I didn't. But yeah, there's I did that on Tribe. The whole he dyed his hitting. Well, Raquel says a mess. Nadine says no. Lindsay doesn't like it. I don't like it. I'm like, okay, this is cute. Like, he's what, 40, late 40s. Please don't tell me this is part of your midlife crisis.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's giving me very choices. It's giving me very, when you want to experience the Christmas time, and they have those like themed, those themed Christmas places.
Okay.
It looks like he dyed his beard to go apply to be Santa.
Okay.
It's a choice. I just want to let him know that it is damn near February, and he is 10 months too early.
Yeah, so we're basically equally shading this. It's like, no, ma'am. That's what I said. I know some people are like, oh, it's cute. I'm like, y'all need y'all eyes checked.
No, he's cute. That look.
No, Ricky Martin will always be cute, but the beard is a no.
Bye-bye. Shave
And
it off.
plus, that's like, this man doesn't age either. I know a lot of people trying to say, oh, that was another one. Some people are trying to say J-Lo uses Botox. She has plastic surgery to send out. I'm like, y'all don't know a lot of Puerto Rican women, because I know a lot of women that I grew up with and in my family as well who are of Latin descent, and they still look youthful. It's just a lot of us age like Benjamin Button. Well, not Benjamin Button, because he aged backwards. But there's a lot of us who are just vampires. That just is what it is.
What I will say though is
I age like milk, like some of y'all folks out there. We're not gonna say with race, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But go ahead.
I see the Manscaped discount code already. Use code Ricky Martin 10 for 10% off of your Manscaped subscription. I totally see it.
I wouldn't mind manscaping him.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't mind getting them coins together for the girls who will buy Manscaped, because he's the face of it.
Oh, he is.
I'm saying I could totally see that.
Oh yeah, well, that should be something that she should endorse, like be a part of it. And look, he has a good-looking husband. I don't know if they're into 3 ways of 4Gs, but shout out to him. I got that from one of my favorite movies, Trick. And I guess our last one is, last but certainly not least, Madonna's daughter has joined Instagram. Lourdes Leon, who I think is like 24, 25 years old. And honey, I don't know if y'all heard, but she was cussing out the Madonna fans because they were asking her on social media about her mother. And a friend of mine pointed out to me, and I don't know, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on social media, because I have a friend that always posts like trivia stuff about Madonna and Kylie and a bunch of other people and tags me in it. And basically was talking about how that was one of the reasons why Rocco basically, I mean, he didn't hate his mother, but he was going through some things with her, because the people have to give the kids the opportunity to find themselves and figure out who they are as a person, and be their own individual person outside of their mother, who was one of the biggest stars on the planet. And so you have to let them be them. And the last thing they want is some people wanting to befriend them so they can gain access to their mother. So I could see why Lourdes was cussing him out. It was like, stop asking me about my damn mother and get to know me as a person. Like, I've been spending all this time trying to find my own self and be my own individual person. And I get it. You love my mother. You're a fan of my mother, but I am not Madonna. There's a song called I'm Not Madonna, by the way. But
I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it makes sense, but you also have to realize, girl, you've never done an interview. You've never done anything. So obviously, it's just common sense. We all do it. Like, when one of the Kardashians go on to do interviews, they always bring up Kim, or, when one celebrity goes, whoever's married to the other celebrity, how many times does Jennifer Aniston still gets questioned about Brad Pitt and stuff? So,
oh yeah, that is annoying. Meanwhile,
she's annoying.
She's had 5 boyfriends since then.
Listen, but what I'm saying is, it can get annoying. I totally get it. At one point, you can get tired, but you just got into Instagram. No one else can. I mean, the first time I saw her recently was like a week or two ago, and I texted Edwin because I was so shocked. She was on TikTok, so I think she also has a TikTok account. I'm like, oh, that's Lourdes. I'm like, she has a TikTok account? She was with some girl. They were doing like one of the TikTok challenges and stuff. And I see the questions at the bottom, like, oh my God, Lourdes, Madonna, and like, all we keep hearing is Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. But my thing is, you are the daughter of Madonna, and no one knows you. So no shade. The first thing people are going to question is Madonna. And with that being said, too, you should be a little bit nicer, because all the good stuff you have in your life is from your mother. And your mother has all this because of the fans. No shade. You don't owe us anything, but like, just chill a little bit. I would have understood if she had Instagram 2 years ago and people are still bashing her with questions. But like, she just made it in like 24 hours. Obviously,
who's that?
Come out.
Who that?
That is not Lourdes.
That is not Lourdes.
That's not her?
No.
Who's that? I was about to say.
That better not be her. Nah, that can't be Lourdes. I'm like, girl.
Oh, I was going to say she just got an Instagram and that's what we go with? Okay. Ooh.
Wait, where is the oh my God. So wait, go back to that other one.
That
Oh,
is
this
her.
is okay, so yeah, that is her. The tattoo
Now,
matches. Well, look, her mother likes using sexuality for attention.
and also
Wait, what was that? What was that
You
other
know
tweet?
what?
Go back to that. Go back to that comment. Okay, that is her.
What's her
Um,
Instagram? She's getting a follow.
yeah, I'm gonna follow her as soon as we're done.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's probably Lourdes Leon because that
Not
is.
her, not the profile picture of Michelle Visage saying no.
I was trying to look for the. Oh, I don't know if y'all heard because I'm gonna ask this as we close out the show. But girl, I'm definitely gonna have to look up the Wait, what was the one where they said time for a Madam X? There it is. Time to give away few Madam X tour DVD copies, Queen. And Lourdes put time to suck a dick. Ooh, okay. I mean, look, I would love to see a Madam X tour DVD because I was not spending money to see that mess. Um, I'm a fan. But yeah, to close out the show, because just to ask y'all if y'all are all for this. So I just caught something on one of the blogs where it said that that Swizz Beats wants to put together a versus between Biggie and Tupac. Oh, so yeah, that's the end of Pay to Shade It. I don't care. Like, let these men rest in peace. I don't want to sit and have who's gonna referee that? Like, they're both dead. So what you gonna have? You gonna pull Suge Knight out of prison to represent Tupac? And what you gonna put you're gonna put
They're gonna have Suge Knight and Diddy.
Yeah, and then have Diddy, who basically rides Biggie's dick any chance he gets, being the representation. Like, that's not gonna work. Like, no.
No, yeah.
In the words of Ariana Grande, and I've been using this the whole night. Thank you. Next.
She's a movie.
No.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I'm not here for it. I haven't seen a single verses since they started. I know
Really?
of some that no.
You really see the Randy and Monica one?
No, I've just seen the memes. I was gonna tune into Ashanti and Keisha Cole because I was just like, I like Ashanti way more than I like Keisha Cole, so that'd be interesting. But when the time arose, I was just like, no, I'll catch the highlights if anything was memeable or worthy. They'll post it on the Shade Room or wherever else.
Hugo Ball said, comment a Ouija board as a referee.
Oh,
not the Ouija board.
That is a good idea, though. Like, oh yeah, let's have the child. I'm scared of a Ouija boards, like I'm scared of Candyman. Like, I be thinking them motherfuckers is real. I don't like messing with spirits.
They need to have the Ouija board as the referee,
let's get her to it.
And they need to have Jocelyn Hernandez working it.
Wait, who is the referee?
The Ouija board, and they need Jocelyn Hernandez working the Ouija board.
Speaking of which, whatever happened to her and her music career? She's
hosting the One More Chance reunion.
That was her?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, you got some nerve talking about these girls fighting on here, but you was fighting on Love and Hip Hop.
Hello, that's how you made your bones, because no one's quiet as kept. Nobody was listening to that music. But anyway, on that note, thank you all for tuning in to this messy ass episode of On the Line. I don't know how many hours we was on, but you know what? It was the three of us. We was, as Blanca would say, she's dead. Anyway, yes. So, shout out to those of y'all who are tuning in and watching and commenting and all the good stuff. I love y'all for watching. Thank you, Remy and Lindsay, for joining me for this amazing episode. Like I stated before, we have a show that we're all going to be doing together a couple of months from now. Like, wait until it gets warm and all this other stuff. Wednesday Night Kiki, definitely tune into that. That is coming back for a brand new season on Wednesday. This show, we're trying to work it out to come on Mondays. So yes, thank you all once again. Love you all for watching. Those of you, and thank you all for commenting. And that kept the show thoroughly entertaining and stretching it out longer than what it was supposed to be. So yes, once again, thank you all for watching. Love you all. And bye, Dios, sayonara, ciao, darlings, all that good stuff. And I'm going to keep doing that.